So, good evening. You're all welcome to Achievers Speech Career Night. And today, being February Career Night 2024, we will be discussing deeply on the genetics of success. Okay, so I'm very sure by the end of today, those of you who have been aspiring, to become very successful, will be loaded with a lot of knowledge. Okay, so first of all, I will want to tell us that this is going to be a very intense discussion, and then we will be looking at different questions that sparked in the mind of a lot of people, and then I will be providing responses to such questions. And if you have any question that comes up from your own mind and then you want to know more about success, please feel free to drop it in the comment section so that I can be able to address it. So now, first of all, we will need to start by knowing what success is all about. Okay, so what does success means? If they say this person is very successful, what does it mean? Okay, and then is it just the conventional success that people just feel, okay, this person is a very successful person? You move around in the community and then you just see a person, and then someone will say, okay, this person is successful, he's a very successful person. Now we will get to know what success means. Okay, now if you really want to understand the meaning of success, it's very spiritual. Okay, it goes down into the spirit realm. Okay, you can't just define success and ignore the spiritual aspect of it. So success means accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. Okay, as an individual, you need to have a purpose. You need to have an aim for which you live your whole life for. Okay, so for you to be tagged as a successful person, it means you must have fulfilled the purpose for which you are here on this world for, or here on this earth for. Okay, so now if you want to define what success is to you, you need to start by finding an answer to what your existence is all about. Okay, so discovering your purpose is a very strong key to living a very successful life. You cannot be tagged as a successful person unless you find your own purpose, and then after finding that purpose, then you are able to fulfill that purpose before you die. That is when you are said to be successful. Okay, what could that purpose be? Another person may want to be asking, okay, what could that purpose be? Now, the ultimate purpose of a man is to work, to create, to excel, to be concerned about the world and its affairs. Okay, so if you want to put it in a single sentence, then your purpose, your sole purpose on this earth is to glorify God. Okay, so if you are concerned about the affairs of the world, you work, you create, you excel, it means you are fulfilling the purpose of God for your own life. Now, before someone tag this, before someone misunderstand this, when we say purpose, that is the sole aim of you being in this world. Have you ever, for once, sit down and ask yourself, okay, why am I in this world? Have you ever asked yourself, what is it all about? What's my life all about? Is there a thing that I'm not getting right about this life? Or am I just to live my life just like that? I was born by my parents and then got to school, just graduate in school and then just live my life and then at the end of the day die. I don't know if you've come to such realm, with yourself, and then try to find out why exactly you exist in this life. If you don't know, then your purpose is for you to work, create, excel, and then be concerned about the world affairs. Okay, so that is what success means. Okay, so if you were able to achieve that purpose for which you were here, the purpose, the work you need to create, if you're able to create that thing you need to create, if you're able to excel in those areas, you need to excel, and then if you're able to work in those places, you need to work, and then if you are concerned about the world and its affairs, and then you are able to do something from your own end to be able to cure some concerns in those affairs, then it means you are successful. Now, in another word, your purpose, irrespective of what it is, it should be rooted in making life better for another person out there. If you make life better for one person, if you make life better for two, three persons, it means you are living your own purpose. And then with that, you are successful. Now, there's a misconception about success. So many times people misconcept about success to be having a lot of money, having a lot of material things, having houses, having a lot of cars, things like that. But that is not all about success. Okay, it's possible for someone to have a lot of money, but then that person is not successful. How? I know someone may only be asking, how can that be possible? What do you mean by that? I know someone may be asking and then wondering why I said that. Okay, now this is it. For you to be very successful in this life, you need to be fulfilling such purposes. Are you now trying to say, if you say Success is about having a lot of money. Are you not trying to say if someone just pack a lot of money and then give it to you and then give you houses, maybe you inherit houses from a parent, then you're successful? Certainly no. Okay. But then I want you to understand that if you are successful, it comes with a lot of things. It comes with a lot of money. It comes with a lot of good relationship and great relationships. It comes with a lot of psychological well-being. It comes with a lot of love. It comes with abundance in all areas of life. Okay, so it means when people say success is about money, it's because all the successful peoples that have been successful in this life had a lot of things at their disposal. They had a lot of great relationships. They had a lot of money because success attracts a lot of things. Okay, now, if you look back, to the purpose I explained earlier, it means purpose is all about making life better for another person out there. If you make life better for me, I will be willing to give you any amount of money so that I can be able to get that, that connection to you, so I can be able to get that, acceptance from you, so I can be able to access that thing that you were able to create. Okay, so now with that, you are able to have access to a lot of finances. Successful people, when they just say in a job that I'm in need of that, you will see dozens of people buying that thing and taking it to them as a gift. That is success for you. Okay, so success comes as a result of fulfilling your purpose in life. Success comes as a result of you living a life that will make another person's life easier. So it doesn't matter whether you're a medical doctor, it doesn't matter whether you're an engineer, it doesn't matter whether you're a business person, it doesn't matter whether you're a musician, it doesn't matter whether you're a cleaner, it doesn't matter whether, think of any kind of thing that you can be able to do that can make life easier for another person out there. It means that is an area of calling, that is a purpose. Okay, so we all cannot be medical doctors, we all cannot be pharmacists, we can't all be lawyers, we can't all be engineers, we can't all be farmers, we can't all be everything. Okay, so now just for you to understand that success in life is about purpose, and then understanding your area of purpose, that is then where you can be able to move your entire life and then make life great for yourself. Okay, so if you want to understand this subject of success, we can talk for the whole day, and then we cannot exhaust this subject of success and its meaning. But just take these two things. Okay, success is all about discovering your purpose. If you discover your own purpose and then you fulfill those purposes before you die, that is when you are said to be successful. Okay, if you're alive and then you have discovered your purpose, and then you have achieved those purposes or you have fulfilled those purposes in life, it means you are a very successful person. I believe that is very clear, and I believe that is going to shine light on your own path to understanding what success is all about. Now, the next question we are going to be discussing now is, now having understand what success is all about, now what specialty or discipline does one need to be in before he or she becomes successful? A lot of people are confused, and then they are just sitting down. Okay, now where am I going to live my own life? What is my own area of calling? People struggle a lot to understand. Now we see a lot of people now see, okay, we have this and this and this, Davido, Michael Jackson, we have people like Justin Bieber, we have people like a lot of musicians, people like Moses Bliss, that have made a stride, made a great, display of success in life. And then you see someone that his own area of calling, his own definition of calling and purpose in life was maybe to be a doctor. And then maybe certainly he's just starting up in life, and then he now discovers that, okay, now in this life of being a doctor, I don't think I'm going to be able to be successful. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of money in here. So I think I need to be a musician. And then you see that person just jumping from being a medical doctor and then jumping into music. And then he's just, struggling with music. There's no single specialty, there's no single discipline that one needs to be before becoming successful. You don't need to be a musician, you don't need to be an engineer that will bring in things in the area of maybe machineries. You don't need to be in the area of computer, you don't need to be in the area of maybe let's say medicine. You don't need to be a medical doctor, you don't need to study agricultural science, you don't need to start. In fact, you can be successful in any area as long as that is your own area of calling, as long as that is where your own purpose lies, as long as that is where God placed in your own heart to see the affairs of the world, and then He gave you a mindset and a concern about that specific area, and then you are able to identify that this and that are the things that I can be able to do in order to make these areas of life to be very meaningful and to be very easy for another person out there. As long as you're able to discover that area, then that is where your specialty is. That is where your discipline should be. Okay, if you see people having a challenge of communication and then you come with a better means of communication, that is your own area of discipline. Okay, and then you can nurture yourself in that area. Okay, if your area of concern about the life is, about people finding it difficult to find food, it's very difficult, people are suffering from hunger, and then there's scarcity of food, and then you go into the area of agriculture, and then you want to make life easier for some people, or let me say for all of the people that live on food certainly, then that is your own purpose, and then that is your own specialty, and you can become very successful in that area, just the way people who are into music, just the way people who are into maybe all these global buying and selling and retail businesses. That is where your own specialty is. Okay, so your purpose, your purpose, that is the major thing you need to pay so much attention to. So having issue with my own lightning, so I think I need to go and check that out, so please bear with me. Okay, just coming back a couple of seconds. Okay, so apologies for the glitch, I had some challenge with my own lightning, so now at least we are back, and then yeah, so sorry about that. So now, talking about your own specialty or your own area of calling, when it comes to being a successful person, you don't have a specific area of calling that you will say, okay, you must be in this field before you're going to be successful. You must be a medical doctor before you're going to be successful. You must be a pharmacist before you're going to be successful. You must study computer science before you can be successful. No, you can be successful in any area of life. Okay, we have a lot of successful people, people like Elon Musk, people like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, have a different field, different from Bill Gates. We have Jeff Bezos also having a different field, Mark Zuckerberg, a different field, Oprah Winfrey, a different field, Larry Ellison, Warren Buffett, Larry Page, Steve Ballmer, Bernard Arnault. A lot of these people, Shakira, Cristiano Ronaldo, we have people like Sally Rooney, we have people like Sam Walton, Steve Jobs, Mukesh Ambani, Michael Jordan, Kelly Jenner, all these people are very successful people, and they are not just in one area of life, they are not just in one field, but rather they have their own unique fields, and with that they are able to make themselves successful people in their own area of calling. Why? Because they were able to see their own purpose for themselves, and then they discovered the things that they need to do in order to fill that gap. They saw that area, in the field of life, in the field of the world, that they feel they can be able to make a difference in that area. Okay, so that is your own specialty. Your own field of calling is your own specialty. Just pay attention to your purpose, your area of calling in life. That's the major determinant of the path you should follow. Okay, now one unique thing I said about success, success comes with a lot of fortunes, it comes with a lot of fame, it comes with a lot of money, it comes with a lot of great relationships, it comes with satisfaction, as long as you discover your purpose, and then you work in line with that purpose, and then you were able to solve problems that is existing in this life, and then you're able to address a lot of situations that is affecting a lot of people, then those people are by default going to make you rich. Okay, they're going to make you to be famous, they're going to make you to be great. They're going to want that, they're going to be people that will be looking out for relationship with you, and then before you know it, you will be flowing with a lot of things, and you, of course, definitely you're going to have a lot of material things. Of course, if you have a lot of money, you can be able to afford anything that you need. Okay, so that is what success comes with. But it's very, very, very wrong for you to define success as having a lot of money, because it's very possible for someone to to have a lot of money, but that person is not successful. Okay, someone can steal a lot of money, and then that doesn't mean the person is successful, because he can lose that money at the blink of an eye. Show me a successful person, and I will show you a person that even if he lost all the money that he have gathered in his lifetime, in a short period of time, he can be able to legitimately gather up that money, because success comes with a lot of money. Okay, so the specialty that you need to be in should be your own area of calling, and there's no a single area of specialty that you need to be in before you can tag yourself as a person that is on his or her way to success. I believe that is very clear. Like I said earlier, if you have any question, if you have anything that you're confused about success, feel free to drop it in the comment section so I can be able to clarify it towards the end of the session. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking at is, does one give up on success if he or she never went to school? The answer is straight hell no. Okay, it's no. While seasons and generations differs in a very different way, but there are still some common situation that unifies their possibilities. Okay, now I just finished making an explanation about the area of college. So does it mean if you are able to go into agriculture without attending class one, or let's say even a primary one, and then you produce a lot of farm produce, and then you're able to supply to countries, and then you're not going to achieve that satisfaction that will alleviate human suffering, that will make life easier for other people, that will now make you have a very meaningful life, and that will even make you to have a lot of money? The answer is, that is not all what success is all about. Going to school is not what success is all about. Okay, so in the past, we have a lot of successful people that become very successful without going to school. Not to also forget that not going to school does not mean not being successful or not learning. Okay, so learning does not have to be in school. Okay, of course, being in formal school will make it easier for you to be able to streamline some knowledge, to know some kind of things that have to do with your own area of calling or things like that. But then, if you have an opportunity to school, you can go to school. Okay, go, because as it can be a leverage for you, but it's never a guarantee for success. At the same time, not going to school is not a guarantee for failure. Okay, now let me elaborate that. Some people may say, okay, now since success is not all about going to school, let me not go to school. Now, as I've said earlier, seasons and generations differ. Okay, it may be that your own area, not just your own area of calling, you need to be able to read and write in this generation to find things easier. Okay, and you may not go to school before you can be able to find things easier. Reading and writing, you can be able to learn that on your own, having people that can coach you, people that can teach you how to read and write. But then, not going to school does not mean that you don't need to go to school. It's very important if you can go to school. There are some areas, there are some disciplines that you cannot do without going to school. Okay, things like, you can say you just want to be a medical doctor, and then you just sit down, and then you just go to one place, and then they teach you how to read and write, and then they teach you how to tear human body and things like that. You just have to go through formal education. Things like, you want to be a pharmacist, for instance. You want to be there are some fields that you cannot say you want to be such people, and then you don't want to go to school at the same time. Okay, but at the same time, being fulfilled, being successful in life, you are not hindered from being successful in life, unless if you did not discover your own purpose and your own area of life. Okay, so for people that have not gone to school, don't sit down and say, okay, I have not gone to school, so I will not be successful, so I don't think I need to even pursue success. Okay, so very important for you to know that. But don't get me wrong, if you have an opportunity to go to school at whatever cost, at whatever legal cost, at whatever normal and good cost, if you have an opportunity to go to school, it's very good for you to go to school. But then you should know that going to school is not the license of becoming successful, and not going to school cannot make you a failure. We have a lot of people that become successful without going to college or maybe going to the university. People like Richard Branson, Rihanna, Abraham Lincoln, which was one time the US president, Benjamin Franklin, Bill Gates, Charles Dickens, things that people like George Burns, Henry Ford, you know, a lot of people did not go to colleges and universities, but then they emerged to be successful. Some of them dropped out of college, dropped out of university, and then at the end of the day they were successful. Okay, so going to school is good, and I will encourage you to go to school if you have that opportunity. But if you happen to be that you were not able to be opportunity to go to school, that doesn't be a guarantee for you to tag yourself as a failure or a person that doesn't have prospect for success. Okay, so I believe that is very clear. Now, the next question we're going to be addressing is, does success have a formula or a hidden secret that can make it a predictable thing? Okay, now, success doesn't have any universal formula. Okay, it doesn't have any universal formula, but success can be predictable. Okay, success is something that mostly manifests in an environment where focus, diligence, wholehearted pursuit, resilience, dedication, exist. Okay, success needs a lot of time, effort, knowledge acquisition, and a lot of things. So for people who do not pay so much of the time on these things, then they will have little or no success. Okay, so success can be very predictable, but then it doesn't have a formula that you will say, okay, this and this and this are this formula that you need to follow when you need to be successful. But at the same time, you need to be able to discover a purpose, as I've said earlier. And then as I've said also, your success need to be rooted in making life easier for other people in the world. Okay, so you may not be able to make life easier for all the people, but at least for some other people, if you make their life easier and then to a significant level, and then you will find joy in your heart, and then that will make you to have a very, very, very significant influx of goodies to yourself. Okay, but then if you pay attention to that, you are certain to be successful. Okay, you are certain to be successful if you pay so much attention to that. But on a general note, there's no single formula to success. Okay, that's that about that question. And then the next question, of course, is there an age range for success, and is there a cutoff age? So is there any cutoff age, like they say in the military? Okay, if you exceed so number of years, and then you may not be able to be recruited into the army, or maybe there are some certain ages, when you exceed that age range, then you will not be able to be given an opportunity for some scholarships or things like that. But while to success, it may not be so. Okay, while it is profitable for you to commence your journey early in life at the earliest possible age, but that does not mean all the people cannot build a success from the ground up. If you're older, it doesn't mean you cannot build success from the ground up. Okay, so the reality is that the older you become, the more you lose resilience, physical and mental strength to withstand the challenges that comes with success. But then it is not a license for giving up in life. Now, let me elaborate more on this. You know, for someone that will become very successful at the age of 20, you will enjoy his own success far more than the person that will become successful at the age of 60, 70, 80. Okay, I believe you will agree with me on that, and that is self-explanatory. Now, if you started pursuing your success, if you discovered your purpose, your area of calling at the age of 16, 17, you will have an advantage that someone discovering it at the age of 40, 50 will not have. Okay, and then at the same time, the pursuit of success comes with a lot of challenges. It comes with a lot of heartbreak. Sometimes it comes with a lot of difficult situations. And then if you are of age, you may be battling with some illnesses that comes with age. And then while you are battling with your health conditions, and then you have some challenge that is coming from your own pursuit of success, and then that's going to make it very cumbersome for you. But then that does not mean there is a certain age that cannot go for success. Okay, but if you have an opportunity to go for your own success at an early age in life, that will be of great advantage for you. Okay, very, very, very important for you to note that going for your own pursuit, going for your own journey in life, the earliest possible is gonna be of great help to you in life. Okay, so that's that about that question. Now, the next question is going this way. Are there books or platforms you recommend for someone who plans to become successfully in life? Are there books you recommend? Is there any material you want to recommend for someone that wants to be successful. There's no specific platform or a book that one can recommend for success, as a general recommendation. But then the recommendation is going to be unique and specific to a particular path or area of purpose or area of calling for an individual. Okay, but generally you have platforms like YouTube that have all forms of knowledge that one may need. There are books written to provide guidance and full knowledge on every area from people who have excelled in such areas. You can leverage on mentorship as well. You can have a lot of mentors that are in the area of expertise that you want to streamline your calling and purpose. Okay, and then also, if you discover your area of calling, if you discover your area of purpose, it's going to be very easier for you to now ask for recommendations. Okay, for instance, if I want to become um, a retail business, a global retail business owner, for instance, I can be able to study books about shares, study books about starting a company from scratch, books about finances, personal finance management, books about system building, going to other platforms that hold webinars, online trainings, or maybe having seminars for people that want to start up a business in that area. So such recommendations will be very easier if you have already streamlined your purpose. And of course, feel free if you have any area you have chosen for yourself, or God have opened your eyes to be able to discover a great grass, a green grass for you, green pastures where you can be able to establish yourself and then make a meaningful and then a successful life for yourself out of it. You feel free to ask on this comment section. Even after the live session, you should feel free to ask, and then of course I will be glad to provide the recommendations for you as to the materials and the kind of platforms that you can be able to visit. But generally, if you go on YouTube, just search, okay, how to become a meat vendor or food vendor, how to become a musician, the things I need to know when I want to become a business owner. You will always have lots of material out there. Okay, you can also look for people that have been into that area before, and then you can be able to subscribe to mentorship from them. Okay, you must not have money before you can subscribe to mentorship. There are a lot of people, successful people that are already successful. One of their desire, one of their happiness in life is to help younger people to grow and become successful as well. So if you are genuine and then you know deep in your heart that you want to be successful, then you have a lot of successful people out there that are willing to mentor you to become successful as well. Okay, so having said that, this takes us to the next question we're going to be discussing about today. Okay, now the question goes this way: does having a paycheck job hinder someone from becoming successful? Does having 9 to 5 job hinder someone from becoming successful? Some people may have their area of calling embedded in their day-to-day job, while others may have it in another different dimensions away from their routine job. It is your duty to find out where your area of calling and purpose is. Okay, and that will guide whether your routine job is going to be a distraction to you or not. Do not be deceived by the general ideology that having a 9 to 5 job is a distraction to your own success in life. While that may sound true, but then there is always that uniqueness that you can make, that can make you stand out, and then before you know it, you become a global success that people are going to celebrate, and then you're going to get a lot of connection, you're going to get a lot of invitations to go and carry out some functions, you're going to get a lot of you will make a great living, a successful life worth of living for yourself. Okay, now, but it's your own duty to find out if your own area of calling is embedded on your day-to-day job or is not embedded there. If your area of calling is embedded on your current job, is not if your area of calling is not embedded in your current job, then it's better for you to find out an exit plan for yourself. Not to just go and then resign, of course, but then you can draft out an exit plan for you in such a way that you can channel yourself, and then switch your line to your area of calling without causing yourself, hazard, falling into a situation whereby you cannot be able to put food on your table or the table of your family. You not being able to cater for your day-to-day or your basic needs. You can be able to plan your exit strategy in such a way that is not gonna affect your livelihood. Okay, but if your area of calling, for instance, you want to become a very great doctor, a great medical doctor, definitely you have to start from somewhere. Okay, you have to start from a job, working under a person to gain, experience. You need to go to school. While you're adding your knowledge in school, you need to also be working in a particular institution area where you're going to be seeing a lot of cases that have to do with that, area of calling that you have. Let's say you want to become a neurosurgeon, for instance. You can just stand out, on just a fateful morning or a fateful day and just decide and say, okay, now I want to become a neurosurgeon, so I don't need to work for anybody. You can't do that. Okay, and there are different areas of life that you can just decide to just leave, and then you say you want to become that. Certainly, you need to, work, on your day-to-day job to be able to, build your own self towards that ladder. Okay, so, but whatever the case may be, don't be deceived to go and quit your job and say, okay, my job is just distracting my life, or, it's just distracting my success. Okay, success depends on your area of calling, and find out if your area of calling has something to do with your own job or not, and then that is what is going to determine whether you need to leave that job or not. I think that is very clear. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to be discussing, which is going to be the last question I'm going to be addressing before I address some questions, if any, from the viewers watching us out there. So the last question is this: does location hinder someone from becoming successful? No, location doesn't hinder someone from becoming successful. Even if you were born and brought up from Nigeria, that doesn't stop you from becoming successful. While location is a very important, it's very important when it comes to fulfilling your dreams, your area, but waking up, to find yourself in an environment that is of less opportunity does not translate to an automatic deprivation of success. If you just wake up one night and then find yourself being a Nigerian, being a Ghanaian, being a Cameroonian, being a person from Tanzania or any of the African countries, that doesn't automatically translate to you not going to be an agent of success or a person of success. Okay, there are failures who live their entire lives in an environment with high economic standard. Okay, people like people. There are people that lived in the U.S., but then they have not achieved any level of success. While at the same time, there are people who emerge from an economically weak countries, weak environment, and yet they paved their way to success. Where you are is not the barrier. However, you need to pave your way to wherever you need to be in order to fulfill your purpose in life. Okay. Very important for you to know that if you are born in a country that doesn't have strength, country that doesn't have a very strong GDP, a country that does not encourage entrepreneurship, a country that does not encourage people to become successful people in life, that doesn't mean you are going to automatically lose your prospect or your own potential for success. No, you can be able to build yourself right in that place, and then before you know it, you become so noticeable to a level that your success, at the local level now extends to the national and international level. Before you know it, you are a public figure or you are a global figure. Okay, and that is going to make you a successful person. And then, of course, while you are working on things that can make life easier for other people, you are definitely gonna attract international attention, and then before you know it, you are very successful, and then you are living a very happy and then a successful life. Okay, now this brings us to the end of the questions that we needed to discuss in this career night. And then, looking at the comment section that I'm seeing here at the back end, there's no any question that needs addressing. Okay, but mostly they're just a comment, one way comment. And then I believe this brings us to the end of this career night, February career night. And I believe by the end of this session, you have learned a lot of things, and then you are going to put them into use. Okay, so now with this, I will say thank you for staying to the end of this career night. And Achievers Bridge Career Night is a monthly virtual event that holds every last Sunday of the month. Okay, and I want to assure you that career nights will give you the best when it comes to your dreams, as we will connect you with all the relevant information needed for your dreams to come true. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly do that now by clicking the red subscribe button below the video. And that is also going to go a long way for us to be able to reach more people and then to shine more light to their own path so that they can become successful. as we also upload video on weekly basis just to shine more light on your way to success. Okay, so see you in March Career Night, where we will be discussing another important topic that is going to be very, 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 very important for you and your success in life. Thank you, and see you guys on another session.